Hello viewers, this is Angela Murjani from Kasturba Gandhi College in Hyderabad, and I welcome you to this session in which we are going to study a poem that is extremely thought-provoking. The poem is called Kalahandi. Now Kalahandi is a very real district in Orissa that has constantly suffered the onslaught of natural calamities like drought and the poverty that brings in its wake. The poem is a typical picture of the deprivation and misery that is the portion of many such villages throughout our country. But what happens in the aftermath of a natural tragedy is even more terrible, and it just compounds their misery. When the suffering of the villagers is at its very peak, throngs of politicians descend upon these villages. Opportunist politicians are always on the alert, looking out for a chance where they might promote themselves. Along with them come the bureaucrats and the officials who make huge promises about a better future. And the media is always there when they see or smell a sensational story. However, very soon the politicians, the bureaucrats and the media all disappear. And as the dust settles on the hapless villagers, they find that they are left to their own devices and their own fate to solve their own problems and find solutions that would work for them. The poem Kalahandi compels us to confront this part of our society which has always evoked two paradoxical reactions from the rest of us. Either we are filled with compassion and show great interest in the problems of this section of society, or we are totally uninterested and apathetic, sometimes our apathy even leading to complete forgetfulness. At face value, the poem appears to be a matter-of-fact statement of all the problems that are faced by a village that has become the victim of the vagaries of nature. However, if we look at it at a deeper level, it is a sharp indictment of the many systems in our society like government, politicians, bureaucrats, the media, and even the common people of India. The poet who penned this work is Jagannath Prasad Das, born in 1936 to very middle-class parents in Orissa. After his education, Das served for a brief stint as a lecturer in the University of Allahabad. However, in 1958, he gave that up to join the IAS. He did a posting at Kalahandi which forever changed his life, and he decided to quit the IAS in 1984 and become a full-time writer. His opinion about life in the IAS and life in general had changed completely at this point in time. Das had begun to write at an early age, publishing his first collection of poems in 1951, and he was widely published in local Oriya journals. Of the poets who have come out of post-independent Orissa, Das must be acknowledged as the most multi-talented and prolific. He is a poet, painter, short story writer, playwright, novelist, and an art critic whose career graph spans over a few decades. In recognition of his wide-ranging talents as an artist, J.P. Das was awarded the Saraswati Samman. Through all the genres that Das has worked in, he has consistently displayed a unique sensibility, the main themes of his work being the suffering of the poor and the exploitation of their situations by politicians and the media. It has also deeply troubled him that the rest of India that is more well off has always showed an indifference to the sufferings and misery of the poor. Now let's look at the poem Kalahandi by J.P. Das. Put away the road maps now. To go there, you do not need helicopters anymore. Wherever there is hunger, there Kalahandi is. The god of rain turned away his face. There was not one green leaf left on the trees for supper. The whole village a graveyard.